We really prefer to use bikes over Uber, so Herby is changing his bike tires so that we can go ahead and bring our bikes to shore.
My tire popped. The struggle! Finally, it is free.
The boat's been really rocky today. It's just been crazy winds and current, so we've kind of been stuck considering it's hard for us to get to the dinghy dock. Finally, everything calmed down. Herby fixed his bike, and I am really excited to get out of here and see some more of Charleston.
Yes.
We're noticing that we're a lot further out of the water, which is a good thing.
I wonder where the quote is.
Oh, you need to get the,
Yeah!
Brian, tell them what it is.
On Happy Heritage Hash House Harriers.
Alright!
I checked the torrent though. It is in English and it's
Okay.
watchable. So sometimes you download it.
Yeah, sometimes we'll check the torrent.
I did not know that.
As our new dinghy. So, the cruising community is really close-knit. So when you're able to meet somebody else from either YouTube or a blog, it's really exciting. And here in Charleston, we were able to hook up with Jessica and Ryan from Jessica and Ryan Adventures, and they have a YouTube channel too. So we've been really excited to meet up with them, pick their brains, and share stories. So guys, you guys are on a catamaran, so it's really different, and you just went through a refit. What was the process there?
We're still refitting. It's gonna be an endless refit, but yeah, we got our idea was to get the biggest boat that we can afford, not the nicest boat we can afford, and then because we can always make it nicer, but we can't really make it bigger. And this, we really wanted a catamaran, and this basically was like what we could afford. We couldn't afford anything newer or bigger, but we're really pleased with what we ended up with, and it's been a ton of work, but we're slowly molding it to like fit us and how we want to do things. And
it helps us learn about every little thing on the boat.
Yeah, if we bought a new boat, then I wouldn't know half as much about boat wiring as I do today, or boat plumbing as I do today, or fiberglass, or any of those things. So, I mean, it's been, yeah, there's, I guess it's a pro that we can, it's not a con, you look at the positives. We're now like, we know our boat systems very intimately, and we're able to like fiberglass and wire and, plumb and everything. So,
customize it the way we want.
Yeah, it's been, of course, with anything that's like engineering related, it always takes longer than it's supposed to. So we're kind of in Charleston for a limited amount of time, and we haven't gotten as much done as we wanted to do. So we either reduce the amount of things we want to do and leave on time, or do the things we want to do and leave late. But I think we're going to reduce the amount of things we want to do and leave on time, because we will also want to go down to the Bahamas and Florida and play a little bit before it gets too hot and windy.
Yeah, take a break from the refit.
Yeah. For us, perpetually refitting the boat isn't quite... While we do enjoy boat work, a perpetual refit isn't really why we bought the boat.
It's not the dream.
Yeah. Cruising life is fixing your boat in exotic places.
Yep,
So
that's Herby says that all the
we
time.
might as well get our butts down to an exotic place so we can keep
Start
on
fixing it,
fixing it.
So where do you guys plan on cruising after you get the refit finished?
Yeah, well, so because we're gonna do the refit in 2 stages. That's the idea now. This is stage 1. Then we're gonna go down to the Bahamas and play a little bit, and then come back up and kind of do the East Coast during the summertime, and just also do more refit stuff. And then from there, we're thinking maybe, and this is like all really loose plans, but maybe the Caribbean next winter. And from there, we might migrate and do Pacific stuff. If we don't do Pacific stuff, then we might do West Coast U.S. and then maybe Hawaii, maybe Alaska. We're not sure, but we're gonna probably migrate westward first, as opposed to across to the Atlantic. But
I realized that after being here in the snow, I want to stay in tropical, warm islands. No
I don't
more
blame you.
winters anymore.
yeah, maybe someday we'll get a diesel heater like you guys have, and we'll go to Alaska. That would be cool.
Yeah, we
But,
did. We wanted to go to Alaska and Europe, but now I'm like, this tropical island sounds good right now.
So this boat is a Lagoon 410, which is classified as 41 feet. It's a 40 and a half foot catamaran with a 23 and a half beam, which is like super beamy. But it's one of the things we like because it makes this boat as beamy as like a 45 foot catamaran, really. It makes hauling out a little bit hard. But so it's a catamaran. It's a charter version that we're converting. So a charter version means it has 4 cabins and 4 heads. Each head in each cabin is quite small. So we're converting it to 3 cabins and 2 heads. Doing our own work is really how we're saving the money, not hiring people.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of travel gurus, so what made you choose the boat life?
So far, between the 2 of us, we've been to 35 different countries, and most of it was just backpacking style. We really like traveling, but traveling out of backpack, especially for an extended period of time, you start to get tired of looking at a backpack. So we wanted to be able to travel, but also to be able to have more stuff and our stuff with us. We thought maybe we'd get a house and like do shorter trips abroad, but then we kind of figured out about sailing, and we're like, well, we can just take our house with us. Part of me is always like the kind of the off-grid like lifestyle sort of thing. So this kind of like lets you be like a prepper, but like not crazy sounding. Totally.
I don't know. People look at us like we have 10 heads sometimes.
Yeah, it's fair. We're not normal.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks, guys. Make sure you check them out. They are, again, on YouTube and Instagram with Jessica and Ryan Adventures, and they have a pretty cool channel. So it's been really awesome hanging out with them, and hopefully we'll see them at least one more time before we
we're
head
heading the
out
same
of
direction.
Charleston. Yeah,
so.
we're going the same way, so we'll be bumping into each other along the way. Beauty of cruising.
Today we'd planned to go to the museum in Charleston and spend some time walking around the town and all, but the weather had a different idea. So we've been asked a lot since we rowed ashore, what would we do if the weather's bad and, you know, huge current, lots of chop, all that mess? And the answer is, we hang out on the boat that day. So I'm going to be baking some bread, Maddie's working on another video, and we're just taking it easy. We'll go tomorrow. So as you can see by the little boats, it's rough. There's Tooth waiting for us to come get him. He's gonna wait till tomorrow. So there's 20 knots of wind. I don't know, like 1 foot chop, nothing too major, but still, you're in a harbor, you'd expect it to be pretty calm. And then a really strong current ripping through here. So we're just gonna stay in. We got the fire going and take it easy. We'll go tomorrow when the weather's a lot better. So the last time we made bread, it was special. So this time we're going to do half the recipe. So hopefully that comes out better and doesn't look so much like a weird looking pie. So following the recommendations you guys have given us for how to make the bread better, I'm going to be using a taller pot, and hopefully that'll give it more space to rise. That way it's not so dense like it was. So inside this deep pot, I added the parchment paper and I set it up kind of like a big donut. So we're gonna let it sit in there, prove again, and then after it's had enough time to prove, probably about another hour or so, then we'll start the fire up and get it going. This one looks a lot nicer. It still didn't rise much, so I gotta do something there, but it looks a lot better than the last one we did. So I seem to have an issue with getting the bread to rise. I'm going to try adding more yeast next time and letting it rise longer. And I'm also going to let it rise in the pot. That way I don't disturb the bread or the dough while I'm moving it.
Olive oil and cracked pepper. Big improvement from the first time. Decided we're gonna place one of these babies on the boat for our anti-piracy protection.
How's it coming?
It's perfect.
Good.
It's fried gator tail, and I can't wait to try it.
Our next loaf with half the recipe, that way A, we don't waste as much flour. We know that one works. And 2, I'm going to use a much taller pot. That way there's more space for it to raise.
You just said AB2.
Thanks so much for watching. And if you want to become a sailing buddy, you can click the link down below to our Patreon account.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And when you click subscribe, make sure you click on the little bell in the annotation. That way you get notifications as soon as our next video is uploaded.
Thanks so much!